everybody. Welcome back to the Ducks Quack Show. This is episode number 16, the first one of the 2021 off season. We have, once again, as usual, head coach Sean Falzone. Welcome back, Sean.
Hello, thank you.
We have our goaltender from this past season, an 03, Anthony Falzone. Welcome, Anthony.
Thanks for having me.
And we have a prospect who we're hoping will sign with the Dells Ducks in the near future from St. Charles, Illinois, an 04, Caden Glamkowski. Welcome, Caden.
Hey, thanks for having me.
So I guess, first of all, we'll start with Coach Falzone as usual. Caden was a pickup or sort of a prospect that attended the Ducks Futures Camp. I guess that was last weekend. It seemed like it was well attended, and there was some pretty good talent there. It was a real fun weekend. It wasn't like real serious, but I guess once hockey players get on the ice, it's hard to just have fun. But did it meet all your expectations, Coach?
Yeah, it was a great opportunity, a good future skate for us for being the first one for the Dells Ducks.
Right.
We had 40 players in from all over the United States, which was cool. And then we had about 14 of our guys show up, and we mixed our guys in with all the new guys and just played. We did one skill session that was about an hour and a half. And then from there, we played games, and each player got in 4 games, and they got a lot of ice time. It was fun, and they had a blast. And that is where we saw Caden. He used to live down the road from us, and it's just kind of funny how things work out. And now he's out with skating with us, and he made a lot of my players very impressed. And we reached out and gave him an offer to come to be a Duck.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, that was the setup was really nice. I think you were looking for a few more players, but this worked out really good because basically it was a 2-line. The teams were basically 2 lines, so everybody got lots of ice time, and mixing them with the former Ducks players got them playing at, I guess, a fairly competitive high junior level. So you got to see how they looked in comparison with the guys that are already part of the team.
Yeah, it was meant to be an opportunity just to get the kids out there to experience junior hockey. Now, it was great that we offered a couple of guys spots from being out there, but I mean, you had kids that were from 03s to 06s, and they all had a blast. We even had one 07 that showed up that we've known from the past, and he was great and fun to watch playing with the guys, and everybody gave everybody respect. I mean, it was still hockey, and there's still a little bumping and grinding and pushing around, but it wasn't too bad of a deal. And Caden here scored a few goals and scored a couple of goals even against Anthony over there in one of the games, pretty bad. And
Right.
he partnered up with Jaden Kachuk, so it worked out pretty good for both of them.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a pretty good guy to be partnered with, Caden. He was our leading scorer this past season. Small but mighty. He's really he makes everybody around him play well, I think. Don't you think?
Yeah, I agree. He's definitely a great hockey player. You can tell he has a lot of grit. He's a fun kid to play with. I'm excited to play with him this next season coming up.
Yeah, we're hoping that he'll be back next year. He's pretty much committed, but like Anthony and all the guys, they're going to take a look around and try out with some other teams. But if it's tier 3 they're looking for, we're pretty sure they're going to be wearing Ducks uniforms, right, Coach?
Yeah, Jaden's pretty much coming back unless some huge offer comes through the table. But no, we're excited to get him back and a few of the other guys back. And Anthony has actually signed his contract already. He is going to go through some NCDC combines and see if there's a opportunity out there at a higher level. But
right,
he's going to probably need one more year to compete and take over that starting role. And and see how that works out for him.
Yeah, and that's not even a bad thing. I mean, I know you made that pretty clear last summer that your primary goal is to get the players to the next level, and that's something you're going to take a lot of pride in.
Yeah, the whole point of everybody is moving them on, and the big deal was for us, it didn't make a difference if they were going to be the number one goaltender that we had or number one player. If they got an opportunity, we were allowed it. We were going to let them go. We did have at that time, our number one goaltender, take a different path, and he did very well. And we're wishing the best for him and all that. And, it was one of those things. It's painful to let him go, but it's the best option for him. And that's what we're here to do. Just move these guys on and get them to the next step in their life and next step in their careers.
Yeah. Coach, I can't tell you how great it was to have you back in the fold this season. You enjoyed, I think, maybe a week of an off season to lick your wounds from probably a little bit of a disappointing season. And then you were back in town and you're kind of in 21-22 mode right now, already starting to sign players, to look around. Do you have a good feeling about the core coming back? And just you have to have the bar set a little bit higher this season, I expect.
Oh yeah, there's no question. The advantage for us is, last year we started off a lot of rookies, and we knew it was going to be a rough season. We were the youngest team, the smallest team, I believe the quickest team in the league. It just took us. It was a tough year. COVID kind of threw a couple of loops in there when you're playing against WHL kids and OHL kids, and I was one of the few coaches that wouldn't bring them in. So I kept my guys, and I knew, but I was more building for the future. Those guys are competing for the titles, and me being a new coach, a new owner, it was coming in and building for our future. And the core guys coming back are huge. As long as they all come back like we plan on it, it'll be a huge step for us. And then we're bringing in the right players to fill those few slots. And, like for instance, Caden here would be a great addition, especially if him and Jaden click like they did that this week or last weekend, and continue that going on. So it'll be huge. We know we got some D coming in, some bigger size, and got a couple of offensive men that are coming in that are going to be a better size for us, and try to get above 5'8" there. It'd be a good start for us, and keep growing that way.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you had the luxury, as a first, basically an expansion team. I mean, I know team's been around for 10 years, but it was sort of a 2.0 kind of thing. And you had the luxury, you had a lot of young kids. And like you said, you knew that you were going to take your lumps.
Yeah.
So you can't be too disappointed, but yeah, everybody has to move forward. Anthony, I thought one of the good things about the team early on was the goaltending. It didn't show because you just didn't get the support you would have hoped for early in the season. There were some long games between the pipes. And then I think, maybe as the season wore on, I think all you guys would admit there was some rough nights for you guys as well. But I suppose the main thing for you guys in goal, Anthony, is just looking for a little bit more consistency this year, you think?
Oh yeah, 100%. Like, I feel like last season we had we weren't producing very much goals, but
yeah,
we would battle the whole game. So it was good having those guys back there on the ice with me, but it was tough when they're exhausted from getting beat up all game and trying to have to worry about what's going on behind them too. So it was a lot of shots this year, but hopefully this coming season shots will come down a little bit, and it'll be a lot smoother of a ride instead of having such a big downhill slope.
Okay. And mentally, those are some tough games to get through. I think there was a lot of games where you and Isaac and Brendan and all of you had good nights, and it just didn't show up. And you kind of had each other, I guess. But did it have it's just something you guys aren't used to, facing that kind of rubber. Did it take a toll on you over the course of the season at all?
Yeah, they were definitely it was definitely tiring. You can play in youth and you can take that many shots, but it's like those aren't the caliber shots that we're seeing here in juniors, because I get definitely a lot more tired after two periods because when it's just continuous, like one game we had an average of a shot per minute. Like that's just a kind of a rough time when it's continuous like that.
Yeah.
That many shots in two periods.
So just in general, what was the toughest thing or the sort of the biggest difference for you from playing AAA or AA hockey to going to junior? What was the toughest thing as a goaltender to get used to?
Definitely the caliber and speed of the shots compared to a youth team. Because like in AA, that's where I was able to shine because I was good to stop those shots, and then coming up to juniors, it's a whole different story. You give those guys an opening, and they're gonna put it away.
Okay. And then, Caden, did you notice that? I mean, I know you just kind of got a little bit of a brief taste this weekend, but did you notice anything different about playing, with players at that level compared to playing with the Leafs?
Yeah, you definitely see it's more intense. Even though it was just a couple scrimmage games, you could tell where the skill gap was from AA and the junior kids, especially the Duck kids. You could tell they have a lot of skill. Leafs, the AA, like in Illinois, it's pretty good, but you can tell this is definitely a jump up, and I'm excited for it.
Okay. Tell me, what kind of a role did you play in the past couple of years, with the Leafs and the other teams? You played with the Mission a little bit too, I think, right?
Yeah, I played AAA a couple years ago, and then I moved over to the Leafs. So I played here the last 2 years. And me and this other kid that I played with, we were definitely the goal scorers on the team.
Okay.
And I was definitely more contributing on offense. And that's just kind of the role I felt like. If we were down 3-2 with like 2 minutes left, I would go out there. We'd try to put a puck home. So I feel that kind of role.
And Coach was talking about the chemistry between you and Jaden. It sounds like you played a lot together on the weekend. Was that pretty instant, or did you just seen each other well on the ice?
Yeah, it was pretty instant. The first game, we started off a little bit slow, but we definitely clicked it up because we kind of got our lines figured out. And we made him around the ice. It was pretty smooth passing. He's a good player, so he makes it look easy. So I was just kind of fitting in with him.
Yeah, he does. He can really work the puck well, and even if he doesn't have much room, he seems to find a way to move the puck well. And were you just mostly, was he just feeding you, or was it kind of both ways?
It was definitely both ways.
Okay.
Sometimes you got to sit back and watch the skill that he has.
Yeah.
He was definitely dishing the puck up here and there, and we were both getting a couple of goals.
Okay. What are your plans over the summer now? Are you did you hang up the gear for a little while now? That's not a bad thing sometimes, but do you have plans to sort of, get on the ice over the summer whenever you can too?
Yeah, I'm probably gonna sign up for the like a spring program here in Illinois. And then I'll probably do a summer thing too, just to stay on the ice, keep my legs going, just to be ready for the season. Most of the time I take spring off and then I go into the summer, but excuse me, especially because I'm going into such a high level hockey. I want to stay ready and I want to keep my legs ready.
Yeah. Coach, that was kind of a weird thing about last summer. You guys did get a chance to get on the ice a little bit, but players came to camp a little different than in other seasons where a lot of them just hadn't had a chance to get on the ice, and the sort of training camp or pre-season was a little bit tougher than maybe in other seasons this past year, wasn't it?
Yeah, COVID made it a bit difficult for everybody. We couldn't get on the ice. I run camps during the summer with the coaches, and we had trouble getting those taken care of. And then after that, we kept building up, and getting ice got a little bit easier, but it was tough. And then with the Dells closing down for the summer, so we can't get over there until we start day after Labor Day. We get on that ice over there, but it was a bit tough for the guys. So conditioning was a big part. We our Hell Week went from 1 week to 2 weeks, and great thing was everybody made it through it with no problem, and the boys were ready to go by the time we got on the ice, which was awesome. And then hopefully that this year, I know a lot of guys are doing spring teams, tournament teams. They'll be keeping on the ice, and the other guys are going to be doing training. Anthony over here is doing goalie training. We're working on a goalie coach right now out here in Texas for him. A good one that we like a lot named Christian Fry, and so we're gonna work with him and get Anthony over there, and also prepare him for any NA camps or anything that comes up for him in the future. And And like what Caden's doing is perfect. That's what the boys are doing. They're getting on the ice, playing wherever they can get, whatever ice they can get to, and just getting ready to, you're never going to be prepared for the season, but at least you'll be ready for the season. So,
okay. Now, Anthony, during the offseason, you mentioned that one of the things that you felt was the toughest thing to get used to was just the tempo and the speed of the shots. Is that something that you can improve just from practice?
Yeah, like just being out there, because it's hard to adjust for a goalie to adjust the shot so fast. So I like how you have that week before, like all the games to like practice, and so that's a lot. That's a nice time to like take time to adjust to it, because like we have Kanan Rogers, who if he gets a one-timer from the point, that thing's whistling, and so getting those kind of shots are really like they're good for you to get used to the rest of the games. Because if you have a kid that can shoot the puck really well, you're going to be more likely to be ready for it than not having a kid that can shoot pretty well.
Yeah. Okay, well, I appreciate the time, guys. I really, it's so nice I miss it already. So it's just nice to have everybody here to talk. As far as team announcements and stuff, I will put something together pretty soon. We can announce that our captain, Luke Marks, is the first player to make a college commitment. He will be playing at Northern Illinois University. That's out of DeKalb. They actually play their home games in your rink, though, Caden. They play their home games at the Leaf Center, I believe. And Luke Marks, well deserved. He's going to play Division I ACHA with the Huskies.
Excited. ACHA D1 is amazing hockey. I've watched kids go to the pros from there. I've watched kids go, different levels from there. And it's a high quality of hockey for sure. Some of those kids can play NCAA D1 with no problem, but they make different decisions in their careers to do different paths, and so they end up there. But Coach Rhodey played D2 and he loved it because it was more competitive. So D1 brings in a whole different competitive game, and they're there to compete. And with them taking Luke, it's a huge thing. We're excited about that one, and we'll post more about that when we get some more information. But we're thrilled that Luke is moving on,
and it's well deserved. I think this is going to be good for NIU as well, because it was a tough season and maybe he didn't get enough credit, but Luke was a great captain for our team. He filled in as a defenseman for a big part of the season because we were short at defense. Now, I think he's had some defensive experience, but he is a forward. But he without any complaints played defense for us, and he might have been one of our best D men before making the switch back to forward, where he's just an awesome power forward. So I love the way he led by example all year, and he's kind of a soft-spoken kid, but leads by example. So real happy for him.
Yeah, we had him out to the future skate too. He was actually on Caden's team too. He jumped on defense for that one. He's just trying to get his legs warmed up, ready to go, because he was jumping on with NIU on that Monday, and so he came out and gave the boys a skate. And great captain, great leader. He was a kid that led by example. Every game meant the world to him. He's a player that takes that every game emotionally, and he'll give everything he has. And when I put him in forward, he scored me goals. When he played defense, he saved us, goals. So he was great to have, and we're excited for him, and hopefully we'll keep in contact with him, and we'll have him back at our next alumni game for sure.
Oh yeah, that sounds great. All right, guys. Well, Caden, welcome to the family. Anthony, it's good to see you again. Coach, I know you're going to have a busy summer. You're just getting started. Coach will be at both the combines again this year. One's coming up in April. I think that's in Motown. The next one will be somewhere in Chicago in May. So I'm sure we'll be talking about that down the road a little bit. But you got a busy summer ahead, and good luck.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.